Morosco. This is a really good edition. Something about it always fascinated me in a way I found hard to place. Perhaps it was the tone. The folk version had a more morbid ending compared to the published story. That's how it often is with fairy tales. But this retelling, something about it has always felt off to me, even when I read through it as a little kid. It felt like the text was covering up something I shouldn't see. Are you warm, my lass? I am Morosco, Mashenka responded, shivering. Morosco leaned in lower, cracking and clicking. I really think children like being scared. Even when there's no reason to, they'll try their hardest to come up with one. Well, I know they love scaring each other, and it's annoying when you have to deal with them screaming. You can stare at a beautiful book illustration and refuse to trust it. You can read a short and sweet cautionary tale and imagine something horrific. Are you warm, my lass? Are you warm, my beauty? I am Morosco, Mashenka responded, teeth clattering from the cold. The frost grew stronger. The girl's cheeks burned bright. She breathed a white mist. Her fingers barely moved. Are we all thrill seekers as children? Maybe it's a simple survival instinct. Always prepare yourself for the worst. Always imagine a scary face staring from the dark. Always think twice about what hides behind the smile. Are you warm, my lass? Are you warm, my beauty? Are you warm, my dear? Oh, so warm, Morosco, the girl responded, her voice growing silent. No, that doesn't sound right. What a depressing life it would be if all we had... Oh, what a depressing life it would be if we always had to scare ourselves into experiencing its best moments. This is my most difficult episode to date. I feel like my lips are numb. At least I'm not like that anymore. I don't imagine scary things where there are none. Yeah, like that thing that happened yesterday, that was just a prank and not your mind. Because I know the world better than that. I know there is way more to love than there is to despise or fear. It's not some impulsive emotional choice, no. It's the only rational conclusion to everything. See, I feel like this is definitely an outlier way of thinking because most people would say the world is cruel and happiness is fleeting. Then Morosco took pity on the girl. He wrapped Mashenka in a heavy fur coat, covered her in a blanket of snow, and warmed her up. I'm flipping through one stunning picture to another. This is far more enjoyable than the original. The folktale is predictable. It's so simple and crude, it's underwhelming. The good girl respects the rules of the ritual and lives. The bad girl breaks the rules and rides back to her mother as a frozen corpse. It's an interesting piece of folklore, but the idea of it, I'm not sure what a modern kid can glean from that. Maybe Garen was right. I am getting rebellious, although, if we look at Morosco, the entity, as if he were the extension of the universe as well. Oh, I think I'm getting it. The real meaning, of course, that's what it is. Morosco is the natural order. It's the will of the world. Yes, you may fear it. You can find yourself in a situation where any positive feelings toward it may seem impossible, but you must gather all your strength to love it still. And then you will surely be rewarded. Yes. How have I not noticed it before? It's been beating me over the head all along. Now I see. In that sense, it's an incredible story. In that sense, every child across the world has got to read it. I look down at the page I've never seen before. It's Morosco and Mashenka, and every other character's face smiling wide and looking right at me. I did it. I got the message. The lesson you've been trying to get through to me all of these years. I finally understood it. This is my little celebration. This is my acknowledgement. Today, I've realized something very good and important. I stare at the page, this never-before-seen page, and I am filled with gratitude. I know that it's just for me and my eyes only. Nobody in the world but me has seen those smiles. What an incredible honor. I'm such a lucky girl. Goodbye, Lydia Ivanovna. Oh? Goodbye, Asya. Stay safe. Of course I'll be safe, because I've got this amazing blessing, this acknowledgement on my side. I'll be okay no matter what. That's how I feel after watching an inspirational YouTube video. But then the inspiration dies, and I need to keep going back. Hello? Evening! I hear Marina's cheery voice on the other side of the phone. Good evening, Marina. You're late. Huh? What do you mean? It's basically 8. It's a quarter past. Maybe I should have been the one to call. Sorry. I wasn't aware we're on a timer. Being a little late is a little fashionable, you know. I'm not very fashionable. Well, you can always change that. And be late? For starters. You can also make your hair all wild. Ever seen Nastya from my class? She has a crazy perm. I don't know how to do that. Also, I think my dad would kill me. You go to a salon for it. I kinda wanna get one. Love says I'd look stupid, but what does he know? That guy dresses like a total schlub. Isn't she worried he could hear her? Oh, right. How was your library trip? Well, it's a library trip. It was good. Come on, at least try to make it sound interesting. Well, I'm kidding, you don't have to. It was enlightening. Perhaps everything I've believed until today was wrong. But the me you're speaking to right now is a much wiser and braver person than before. That trip was pivotal. It was monumental. Whoa. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. Never underestimate the quiet types, they say. How was your hangout? Neither pivotal nor monumental, I'm afraid. Sat at the cafe, looked at some magazines, and got the new Vrovsnik. You read that one? Oh no. I read, The Young Naturalist. And Coster. That does sound like you. What's that supposed to mean? Sorry. Didn't mean in a bad way. But I mean, aren't you curious about something more, grown up? I read grown-up stuff all the time. Oh yeah? Like what? Books. Dad's newspapers. Mom's magazines. Oh, so mature. Well, what mature stuff do you read, Marina? The good stuff? Rovsnik, Workshift, Robotnica, Fashion of the Socialist Republics. How's the last one mature? You know what, Aska? I gotta lend you some of those. You'll love them. I don't know, I'm not really into... No, I'm serious. You're gonna love Workshift. They had this crazy story about a drug dealer last month. You have to check it out. There was one about a foreign prostitute or something, a couple issues too. I'll look for it. Those do sound really interesting. Alright. I'm not sure my dad will like me reading that though. Is that so? Well then, we can read together. Really? Yeah. I'll bring some this week. Okay. To be honest, I've been curious about those publications for a while. Last year, I even bought myself an issue of Rovsnik. I read all of them. I read all of it in one sitting. But then Dad found out and, well, it wasn't worth it. I guess I could just buy the issues and read through them right away. Then, I could throw them away, but that sounds really wasteful. Oh, maybe I could donate them to the library? I was gonna say, I know, or at least my library has, like, a daily newspaper and magazines. She can always learn about that stuff there. And she doesn't want to buy them. I don't know if they did that back then. Maybe it's not as up to date. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. Although, if Marina will share her magazines with me, I might as well save my allowance. Right, so let's get back on topic. The reason I called you. Yes. There's a long pause on the other end of the phone. Almost as if Marina was bracing herself. Remember our talk about Ira's condition? Of course. Of course. Well, here's the thing. I told you how Ira can get into these states when she isn't quite there. Usually, she could snap out of those. It took some time, maybe a couple minutes, maybe even hours. But she got over it, and as time went on, it grew more and more difficult. The treatment helped. The pills acted as stabilizers, so it was like the pits in her mind became more shallow. They still formed, but they became easier to manage, easier to climb from. And when Ira stopped taking them, it was like being dropped right in the middle of a canyon. Marina paused. The way she spoke sounded as if she had to force out every word, made worse by the muffled receiver. And that's just half the problem. There's more? When you stay in that state for too long, you begin to deteriorate. Huh? The human brain isn't made to handle that sort of stress, so as a result, our consciousness, our higher functions start to decay. What? In other words, we gradually lose what makes us human. I don't know if it's irreversible, but from all I've heard, that's how it is. I feel a cold lump in my throat. Higher functioning is deteriorating? Losing what makes us human? Just what the hell kind of illness is that? When we saw Ira that day, it seemed like she'd been out of it for hours. So there's a high chance that she didn't snap out of it soon after. Her consciousness began to fall apart. But here's the thing, she couldn't have run off in such a state. Finding a place to hide would also be extremely difficult. She wouldn't be capable of coming up with a covert hiding spot. At least not anything that multiple search parties would manage to overlook. So what do you think she did? She went home? Eh? You know how walking home can kind of feel like autopilot? It's not something you need to actively think about. So even if Ira became completely dazed, it's very possible she still found her way home. Although, it must have taken her a while. I don't get it. She was declared missing that same evening. If she came back, why would they file the report? I think they really did believe she disappeared. I told you, it could have taken her a very long time. Hours even. Ira's mind was in tangles. She likely had no clue how long it took. So, what you're saying is, Ira's parents filed a missing report when she didn't come home as usual. That was probably late at night. Yeah, the report was filed somewhere around 11. Then, after they already called the police, Ira returned. Yeah. So why wouldn't they call off the report? She sighs. Well, that's the nasty part. Huh? Let's say Ira showed up a couple hours later. At 1 a.m., maybe 2 a.m., something like that. Consider the state she would be in by that point. Consider how Ira kept her condition secret, how she avoided both her home and public spaces. For all we know, it was her parents' first time seeing her like that. And if it was in that extreme state, head hanging low, blabbering nonsense, legs unstable, well, at first they probably thought she was drunk or high. They screamed at her, they demanded to know what she was doing, where, with whom. But then they'd stop. They'd realize something was wrong. Maybe they'd feel it in their gut. Something about the way she slumped against the chair, or the way that she kept muttering nonsense, or the way that her eyes seemed both glazed over and alert at the same time. It had to be unsettling. No, more like really freaking scary. So, they might have panicked. Panicked? Well, maybe that's the wrong word. They try to be rational. A panic kind of rational. Do you remember our talk at the cafe? Yeah. Their family has a reputation to uphold. Whatever remains of it, at least. Their daughter's already the problem child. The difficult, the unstable one of the bunch. What do you think people would say to Ira coming home, looking like she shot up God knows what substance? Or better yet, returning way past midnight, mumbling like a lunatic? You're not saying that. I'm saying that it would be inconvenient. It would exacerbate every problem the family already had, and that's why they killed her. So in their minds, the best short-term solution would be to wait it out. Wait for Ira to come down from whatever drug she was on. They would announce that she returned only when she's presentable. But if she never came down, they probably thought she'd be okay by morning. But if not, well, head. Wouldn't they take Ira to the hospital? I doubt they would. They wouldn't want the public to see her in such a state. And Ira's mother is a nurse. She'd probably try to handle it by herself. But that's... Wouldn't they say that she was sick or something? Why keep the report? She still came home under suspicious circumstances. Perhaps they thought it would be better to come up with something first. They thought they'd let her recover and then declare she's back. But before they knew it, a couple days have already passed. Calling off a report like that so quick would also be pretty embarrassing, you know. But still... This all sounds a little far-fetched, but also, I can't deny the possibility. I don't know about Ira's parents personally, but even I'm aware of how dire their reputation is. Would they really go this far to protect it? Are people really capable of things like that? Crap. Crap indeed. But if everything is as you said it is, and Ira still hasn't come down, that means, yes, her condition is only getting worse. We have to do something. I look around. The TV is still playing in the living room. For a couple seconds I stare at the door, holding my breath. Asya? You good there? Yes. Yes, sorry. No, so... It's funny, this whole time I was like, oh yeah, it's not a landline, but no, it is. It is a home phone. I don't know if it's like... how many years after the World War, but... Okay. Yeah, sorry, it's okay. I just need to be quieter. I see. But yeah, I agree. I've tried calling their place before, but it's either no response or one of her parents. So that's useless. I also thought we could ask Tolik, but we gotta skip school for that. Why? He goes to kindergarten. The only time that we could talk to him alone would be when the kids are let out to play, but that would overlap with our lessons. I can't really skip. That's fine. I can. Really? Sure. Lev will get a call, but it's no biggie. If you say so. Yeah, I'll go there. Still, there's no guarantee that asking him will work. So I'd like to go to Ira's place, see how things are with my own eyes. Oh, yeah, I think that would be smart. But I think it might work better if I'm not alone. You want me to tag along? If you don't mind. We can meet up after your classes end. You have how many lessons? 5. Okay, great. 12:30 at the gate then. You in? Of course I'm in. Awesome. Then I'll see you there? Yes, see you. Oh, wait. Can I write your number down as well? Yeah, of course. I marked it down on a notepad I've been doodling in. Okay, got it. Now you can know my brother all you want. Oh, I'd never. I'm just joshing. Joshing. Good night, Asya. Good night. Beep. I'm just joshing. The handset gently clicks against the cradle. I'm home again. The clock is softly ticking from the hallway. The TV continues to mutter from the living room. I look down at the shapes I've scribbled absent-mindedly during our conversation. The cross-hatching got really dense in parts. I don't remember focusing that much. I don't think I was meaning to draw anything. I don't think I was yet. When I look at this shape more closely, when I scan its dark, blurry outline, my eyes glide over its hunched back, then down the wave of hair, then deeper, closer, towards where its face is meant to be. The shadows surrounding it are much too heavy. There's just one thing that my mind can parse. 2 things. I smile as Ira's frightened eyes are locked with mine. I miss you. I really, really miss you. Where's Yamina? Well, I hope Marina's theory is right. Because who's to say she took hours to get home and someone saw like an opportunity to do evil and then just took her away or something? The sky hangs low. The teacher's droning on about some historical battle by the blackboard. I can't force myself to listen. The only thing that matters right now is what Marina and I have set out to do. As soon as the last bell rings, I rush out the classroom, down the corridor, down the stairs, down another corridor, then to the cloakroom, and then outside. A wave of cold hits my defenseless face, so I hastily tie the scarf that I've left hanging loosely from my neck. Asya! Marina's waving at me from the gate. I start running towards her, but... Oh! Ow! Die, German spy! Kid. Some kid manages to snipe me with a snowball. I wobble, feeling chunks of it falling and melting in my hair. Whoa. That was one heck of a shot. Whoa, nice throw. Okay, maybe don't praise it. I mean... Who the hell do you guys think you are, aiming at ladies? Who the hell do you think you are aiming at ladies like that? Ladies? What ladies? She's with the spy! Get her! Huh? A barrage of snowballs flies at Marina, though unlike me, she successfully covers her head. What the hell? Gleb, Danya, I'll tell your moms! Okay, so it was multiple kids. Huh. They don't like you anyways. Ugh, Asya, let's go. Grab my hand. Yes, let's. We run across the yard, our poor sides catching the brunt of the artillery fire. Geez, where did they learn to throw like that? Honestly, it's pretty amazing. They must be great at Lapta. Do children play Lapta anymore? Yeah, the hell is that about? Stupid kids. I get their asses. Marina huffs, slapping the snow off her battered coat. I do the same until a rather unpleasant laugh sounds nearby. Nice running, you hens. Garen walks through the schoolyard to us, completely unfazed. Marina grits her teeth. Vatic. Hey, you there. Why aren't you firing at him, huh? Oh yeah, why aren't you, guys? Say it loud and clear. 'Cause you're our boss! Aye aye! Heard that? What? Are you like their nanny? Their boss. Clean her ears. A boss? What does that mean? We have a contract going is what I mean. A mutually beneficial agreement. Capitalist pig. So let's report him. Contract? It's simple. I let them see some of my hottie's card deck. What is that? In exchange, they give you two a little workout every time you cross the yard. Great show, by the way. What kind of card deck? Wouldn't you like to know? It's like normal playing cards, but with sexy chicks printed on them. They're naked ones, too. Whoa. Where'd you even get that? Found it in my brother's room. He had it stashed in the back of a drawer. How classy. Show. Fat chance. Do I look like I'm giving out freebies? Psh. Bet you that stuff's all crusty anyways. Crusty? Nah. They're in pristine condition. Meant only for the initiated, which are not. Oh, we've got a secret society over here. What's the name? Porn Poker League? That's catchy, I'll give you that. I don't think we should be talking about this. Right on, Shabina. It's unbecoming of a woman of Komsomol to use such expressions. Is that becoming for a man of Komsomol to carry stuff like that? Look who's speaking. And anyways, you made a dumbass deal like that just to have us bombarded with snowballs? Pretty much. Are you 5? Why? It's payback for having me run your stupid errands. I think it's pretty fair, I know. Errands? Oh, right. Forgot to tell you yesterday. I called him right after we talked. He's coming with us to Ira's apartment. Oh, what? Yeah. My eyes dart from Garen to Marina, hoping that it's all a joke. I know we weren't exactly going to have fun, but I'd really rather not talk to him longer than I have to. But why? I have a hunch that simply asking him to come inside won't work. That's when we'll have use for Radix's brainless brawn. Brainless? Me? Aren't your own grades in the shitter? Huh? They're not, but thanks for your concern. And even if they were, since when are grades a mark of intellect? That's such an outdated idea. So outdated, yet it still continues. You know, Albert Einstein got really crappy grades, and he's like the father of modern physics. I'll tell you more. The whole idea of great academic performance reeks of classism. It goes against everything the Great Revolution stand for. If it were up to me, this whole rotten system would be abolished. Marina, are your grades really okay? Let's go to Ira's place. I think here's a good place to end it. Before, I don't know, I feel like shit's gonna hit the fan. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And I will see you next episode.